Now, it appears government will have to build a whole new factory if it plans to revamp the once famous Esuchari sugar factory. The factory, which has been idle for decades, has finally been put to some profitable use. Joy News' Redwan Karim Dini Osman, who just returned from the area, reports the local senior high school now uses the facility as dormitories and classrooms.
Currently, Ghana is ranked the 9th largest importer of sugar. The country spends about $500 million annually to import 300,000 metric tons of sugar. Now, between the year 1996 and the year 2000, several billions of assets of the Esuchari sugar factory were alleged to have been looted under the guise of an auction. Several years on, the factory has gone into extinction, and the Esuchari sugar factory that we used to know is now Osudoku Senior High School. All right. Can you run us through the different phase of the whole facility?
Okay, this facility, as we are all aware, was a sugar factory that was actually producing sugar. But at a point in time, the factory became defunct, and after some time, the assets were moved out of the premises, and the town folks also thought they had a share in the facility, so they also came around to loot metals from the structures for scrap, and that is how they thought they could also benefit from the sugar factory that was serving their interests and could no longer continue in the provision of that service. So at the point, the school saw that what was going on, the then head of the school, Ms. Felicia Anoff, saw that if some of the structures are reserved, it could serve the interests of the school that is serving the community. And that is how come we have this structure that is now serving as the boys' dormitory, and another structure for classroom and offices, and then the current assembly hall that the school uses. Okay, I understand that at the time the school was having infrastructural challenge, and so you needed to come here, and so you spoke to the assembly and you moved to this place. And I also understand that the facility has been given to you permanently. Can we look at it? This long block we see there, that used to house the factory workers. Yes, it has now been turned into a classroom. Yeah, into classroom. Okay, and this other facility. Yeah, this was a lab that was used to test for quality assurance. Test the quality of the product. The sugar. Yes, before it finally produced and sent onto the market. That is now the boys' dormitory of Osudoku Senior High Technical School. And your yes, and the senior house master's residence. Exactly. And what about the assembly hall? Yeah, the assembly hall we understood was their canteen, and currently that is what we are using as assembly hall, and at the same time we have our church activities over there. So the once known Esuchari sugar factory is now Osudoku Senior High School. Obviously, the factory is dead. But is there any possibility of reviving the sugar factory? We'll find out from authorities in the course of time. Reporting for Joy News, Redwan Karim Dini Osman, Esuchari, Eastern Region.
Mango farmers in Kintampo, Techiman and Wenchi in the Bunohafu region are battling post-harvest losses in the absence of proper storage facilities. The farmers are particularly worried that they are unable to make profits after a stressful planting season because they are compelled to sell their produce for far less, just to get rid of them before they rot on the farms. The farmers, however, have a solution for their problem. They want government to set up a juice factory in the region to absorb the mangoes they produce. A report by Bunohafu regional correspondent Nesta Kafuya Juma.
Kintampo, Techiman and Wenchi are noted for the huge tons of local mangoes they produce. In recent times, cultivation of the exotic ones has also gained prominence in these areas. Unfortunately, mango farmers and traders are not reaping the fruits of their labor as they keep making low profits. The farmers blame this on the absence of a juice factory, which often compels them to sell off the mangoes cheaply. These containers of mangoes sell between 1 and 5 Ghana cedis, while those in big aluminium pans go for 10 Ghana cedis. According to the traders, these prices are relatively low. A crate of mangoes, they say, was sold at 30 Ghana cedis in January, but the price has reduced to 20 Ghana cedis since April. Alima sells mangoes on the Wenchi-Bamboy Highway. She explains how challenging it has been for her. Our customers who buy in crates no longer buy mangoes from us. Now, our only option is to sell in smaller quantities to travelers. We throw away unsold ones. The next morning, we go in search for fresh mangoes. Post-harvest losses of the fruits is not a new phenomenon for farmers and traders here. Tons of mangoes go waste because traders have no means of preserving unsold ones. People usually lose appetite for mangoes. For this reason, a crate worth 100 Ghana cedis is now 20 Ghana cedis because as the season drags on, people don't eat and so do not buy. If we had a juice factory here as well as storage facilities, the fruit won't go bad and we can also maintain the normal price. Nestor Kafuya-Jumes report for Joy News.
Fisher folk at Winneba in the central region have been caught in a dilemma following hikes in fuel prices and what they say are persistent harassment by members of the Fisheries Enforcement Unit in the area. They lament these recent happenings have led to an increase in the cost of their operations, thereby resulting in a high cost of living.
According to the operations of the enforcement units have deprived them of their source of livelihood, making it very difficult for them to fend for their families. The Fisheries Enforcement Unit is said to be confiscating banned nets, which are still being used by some fishermen. But the fishermen say the nets they use are standard nets, adding any attempt to stop them from using the net will negatively affect their usual harvest. This is what we do to take care of our families and even pay our children's school fees. This confiscation exercise has made life really hard for us. Residents stated that the rising cost of fishing implements and premix fuel is affecting the entire fishing value chain in the area, crashing the livelihoods of fishermen, fish smokers and fishmongers. Times are hard because the fishermen are having a tough time in their expeditions. We are also compelled to sell our fish at higher prices. The fisherfolk are, however, appealing to government to halt the operations of the Fisheries Enforcement Units and revisit subsidies on premix fuel to enable them stay in business.
Well, that's it for business right here on News Desk.